What's good? What's good, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Urban Platform Speaks. Make sure to like and subscribe as you tune into the channel and check out the content. And with that being said, man, I want to speak on this recent dust up that's going on, with Jeanie Buss and some statements that Jeanie Buss made, and so now everybody basically know what statement she made, as far as how she felt about LeBron James. Let me see. She felt like he was ungrateful, number one, for drafting his son. That was one problem she had with him. Then also she felt like his clutch sports management, like, put their nose stuck their nose too much in the business of basketball, and just caused too much of a stir around, around the organization, right? Now, I think from the way that the reason why this is all coming out now, number one, LeBron James is getting closer to retirement. Number two, it sounds like to me that Jeanie Buss is having buyer's remorse. And so what I mean by that is, anytime you hire somebody or you bring somebody in, you expect certain results from their performance, right? And I don't feel like Jeanie Buss thinks that she got the results that she was expecting with LeBron James, like doing business with LeBron James. And so now at this point in time, with with like with all that's going on, like I said, she's probably, it's just coming out that she that she had buyer's remorse. She didn't get what she thought she was going to get as far as bargaining with LeBron James. LeBron James can be known as being part, like sort of a diva. And with a lot of athletes, especially the best ones, so and entertainers, you're going to have to put up with a certain amount of their stuff, because these athletes and entertainers have egos, right? So you're going to have to put up with a certain amount of their stuff. And you know that she knew that going in on this, with bringing LeBron James to LA. But they was expecting LeBron James to really to perform better than what he did, not only on the court, but as far as ingratiating himself to Lakers Nation, right? And that fan base, and making himself a person that, be an ambassador for that brand, that Lakers brand. And when she realized that LeBron James is more so about LeBron James than he is the brand, she felt cheated. It's like paying for something and you not really get what you're paying for. And so that's why I gotta figure that she's probably kicking herself right now, like I said. And then on top of that, LeBron is getting closer to retirement. So you're gonna hear so many more of these stories come out about LeBron James, because LeBron James, and you know what? I've always said that LeBron James he didn't pour into basketball like you see other great franchise ball players poured into basketball. When you think about how Magic Johnson played the game, nobody ever accused Magic Johnson or any Lakers great. Magic Johnson, when you think about Kareem, they never accused those guys of like being selfish, number one, and not really pouring into their sport. Like, you want to see these guys leave everything on the court. And the reason why you want these guys to leave everything on the court is because that creates that type of passion, and creates like an emotional bond between the player and the fan base. And so when a player and the fan base having that type of emotional bond, because they try to relate to the player, and they like the player, they love the player, they respect the player, that means that the organization benefits from that type of that passion that the player bring to the table. Now, if the player don't bring that type of passion to the table, and you still have to pay that player, then you feel shortchanged as an owner, and really you're not getting any benefit from having that player on your team. especially like somebody who's the face of your organization, and LeBron James being the face of the team. You know, she even, like I said, she even went so far as to draft Bronny James, right? And so when you do these, when you make these kind of moves to accommodate your star, athlete, then you expect more from them. You know, they draft Bronny James. They went out and they hired JJ Redick, right? And everything they did was to accommodate LeBron James. And the one thing that they asked LeBron James to do, he did not do. And so that's why, as an owner, she feel cheated, because the residuals that come from this, like, say for instance, had LeBron James played out of his mind, and played like what Kobe played, just left everything on the court, the organization would be able to reap the residuals from that even after LeBron James is gone, right? If you think about Magic, all the greats like Magic, Kareem, and Kobe, the organization still gets, they still reap the residuals of what those guys did as Lakers. That's why they have a statue up of Kobe. I think Kobe got two statues, but that's why they have a statue up of Kobe, because that looks good for the organization. The organization will be cashing in on what Kobe did for them for years, right? But LeBron James, that the fan base didn't even want LeBron James to be in the in the All-Star game. And that's not a good sign. Like, if you're currently in the league and you're not putting butts in the seats, then they know that when you leave the league, you are of no good to them, no use to them. So if you're not putting butts in the seats while you're there, let me see, like attendance is down, viewership is down. And the only thing that the Lakers organization and the media really can do now for LeBron James is like sell the controversy that surrounds him. And that really don't work good for the organization if you're selling all the controversy instead of promoting like what he brought to the table or what he's bringing to the table while he's there. Like, what he's doing now on the court is getting criticized, whereas though people, you know you want people to say, oh man, he's in his 23rd year, look at the effort that he's putting. But everything LeBron James do is criticized, and it's getting pushed back, because LeBron James was a selfish ball player, and he never really put, like I said, the work into it like all the Laker greats did. He's not beloved like Magic or Kobe or Kareem or Shaq or none of those guys. And the thing about it, LeBron James really don't care that, like, people don't like him, and that the fans, like, he's not beloved in LA. I thought that when LeBron James decided to go to LA, I was like, I don't know if that, from the very beginning, I don't know if that's a good decision. Because if you play in that LA market, or if you play in that Boston market, certain markets have come with expectations. And they definitely, because they have those histories, those rich histories, they want you to win. And you just can't get a what is it, like a midseason tournament, and what was the championship they won was like in the bubble. That's not good enough for Lakers fans, especially if you got somebody, a franchise ball player there. Now I can see, the Lakers have had some lean years. Like, before they got Kobe and Shaq, they went through some, they had some guys who didn't get them over the hump like they was used to. Like right after Magic and them left, you got guys like Eddie Jones and Nick Van Exel and those guys, right? But then you don't, you have but it still was the Lakers organization. I can remember some of those guys who played too, just before the Lakers just started turning around. They started getting Kobe and Shaq and all those guys, but they were coming off of, like the 80s when like I said, when they had Magic and Kareem and Byron Scott and all those guys, right? So it was a difference. So they've been through the ups and the downs, but when they were down, they didn't have a franchise ball player, and to still for the organization still going through all those downs and stuff like that, when you have a historic who's supposed to be a historically great ball player, like somebody in the GOAT conversation, then you feel cheated. So that's why I think this stuff is coming out. I think that this Jeanie Buss just feel like she got cheated. The Lakers fans have been, letting people know that they feel like they got cheated with LeBron James. They never really embraced LeBron James. So that's my take on this situation, man, with LeBron James, and why Jeanie Buss is starting to come out, why she came out with this, or this situation is coming out. And it's crazy, man, because I think it's more to come of this, right? Look, LeBron James is not going to be able to just walk away with, when people just think that he just really just got over on him. It's not going to fly. So um, make sure to like and subscribe to the channel. Also, don't forget to leave a comment, and I'm going to check y'all out in the next video. Peace.